I will watch it because the broadness of the comedy, I like all types of comedy. I like low comedy until it gets repetitive. I love the early Three Stooges, but then when they lost their straight man, their straight people, the people they would play off of, it got repetitive and was no longer funny.
Right.
Never found Jerry Lewis funny.
Really? I didn't think he was that funny.
I always found. Well, I was always offended by his characters because they were such fucking stereotypes. No, seriously, he had, the horn-rimmed, buck-toothed Japanese stereotype. Most of his characters were semi-spastic.
Yeah, I remember.
And not just as like you're such a spastic, but I'm talking about physically spastic, where there was something physically wrong with the character, and it wasn't touching. It wasn't endearing. It was funny to me because it was to me, and I found I didn't like those characters.
But
I liked his characters like Bellhop.
Well, from that era, though, who would you say was more? Who would you say was more endearing?
At that point, for comedic actors, I loved Danny Kaye.
You loved who?
Huge fan of Danny Kaye.
Danny Kaye. Okay.
Danny Kaye.
Okay.
He never did a stereotype. He refused to do stereotypical characters. And this was at a time when even at a time when playing stereotypical characters was okay.
Yeah.
People were fine with it. Let's see. Alec Guinness, what American comic actors I like.
Yeah. I remember some of that, though. I remember, the stereotypical...
Jonathan Winters. Jonathan Winters.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks. He played stereotypes, but he played them funny. He played them without offense.
Okay.
I mean, things today like Blazing Saddles could never get made.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You don't see that a lot.
And I love the comedies of Norman Lear. And he couldn't get his shows on the air today.
I'm not familiar with that person. What was
All
that
in the
about?
Family.
Oh.
All in the Family.
Okay.
Maude. The Jeffersons.
Oh wow. I didn't know he did those.
He could not get All in the Family on television today because Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
And this is how also people don't understand comedy. They also don't understand the nuance of language. A bigot is not a racist. A bigot can be a racist.
Right.
But a bigot is just somebody who just doesn't like somebody because.
Right.
Archie Bunker was a bigot. He did not like X, Y, and Z because of QRS. He wasn't a racist because he never felt himself superior. He didn't like Mr. Jefferson because he was more successful. And that was the only reason. He didn't like him because of skin coloration. He didn't like him because Jefferson was smarter than him. George Jefferson was smarter than him.
Yeah.
Moving
on up to the sky.
Yeah. But also, the thing about the difference between a bigot and a racist is that a bigot can learn.
We should talk about
the error of his ways.
We should talk about you face religious discrimination. You face sexism, I'm sure. Where do you think the country's going regarding that? Is America going to make it? I'm seeing the media basically divide us into thirds.
I see the media not doing jack shit. Media-wise, we are living in Patty Chayefsky's network dystopia. And if you have never seen Network, ladies and gentlemen, I suggest you rent it and watch it.
Yeah.
Because Diane Christensen, played by Faye Dunaway, who's just awesome in it, comes into this network comes to this network that is just tanked at the bottom of the ratings, and she says she wants anti-establishment. She wants argument. She just wants to be the opposite of what current media, the networks are. And that's how you get Howard Beale.
Yeah.
And she pitches this story about a terror group that goes around taking home movies of their robberies. And what do we have today? We've got people taking videos of their crimes. Because,
Absolutely.
hey, yeah. But if you look at network, you can see in it the seed of what has become Fox News.
Really? Yeah. You're right.
And because Chayefsky came upon the idea for this film after a newswoman committed suicide on air. And that's sort of what triggered the assassination of Beale on television.
Yeah.
Fox went network when they accidentally kept the feed going on a car chase where the chasee got out of the car and then blew his brains out in a field. Like, we didn't know what he was going to do.
Yeah.
But you kept the cameras running. You didn't cut immediately. And then we had it happen again with this guy who videotaped it, who did that film of video of him shooting, murdering, former coworkers.
Yeah, that's right here in Virginia.
Yeah, back in the 70s, and we had like workplace shootings in post offices, and that's where the phrase "going postal" came from.
Yeah, I remember the postal craze of the 80s.
Yeah, and we are not, and with characters like Donald Trump, we are living in a dystopic reality media world, And I keep saying that John Edwards was right when he said we have two Americas. There is right now, but the consensus reality here in the United States is splitting. We have those of us who call ourselves reality-based, then we have the Tea Partiers, then we have these people that absolutely believe that we are living in a tyrannical dictatorship.
Yep.
They are people. We have these splintering. Quantum theory, as all possibilities happening at the same time are happening. We are witnessing it, folks. We are seeing living proof of the quantum theory of multiple, everything happening at the same time. Just what you choose is what happens. Is it a wave? Is it a particle? Is it tyranny? Is it democracy? Well, you chose. If it's a tyranny, you're right. If it's not, you're right. But
do you remember in America when they used to just report the news before they began? I do. And now they sell their audiences what their audiences want to hear.
What it is, it's the fault of the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah.
It started on radio with stations like KCBS, WOR 1010 Winds, WCBS, where it was all news all the time, and you would listen to the news, and after 20 minutes, you would hear little breaks and all this, that, and the other, and then you'd hear the news cycle all over again. That's what's happened to television, TV news. If it's not network news, broadcast news, like we would have, the local news, and we would go to the evening news of Walter Cronkite or Chet Huntley and David Brinkley, which was like the first anchor team. Good night, Chet. Good night, David.
Yeah.
With their tagline, and that's the way it is, from Walter Cronkite, Peter Jennings in the news, on ABC. And then you got into this, CNN became the first 24/7 news station.
Yeah. Oh, Ramzy's calling in. Let me see if I can pick him up, and we can have a three-way here. Yeah. Is this RZ to the ZR? Ramzy?
Yes.
God damn it! Why are you late again? Hey, listen. I'm going to let you two talk for a minute because I got to go make some coffee. So you get to run the show.
Okay.
But first, I got to join you together. I forgot how to do that. Can I add to call? How the fuck do you do this? I hate Skype. There's 15,000 choices. Invite to group call. Okay, and then... Oh, there we go. I think we're on.
Yeah, she's on.
Can you hear Ramzy, Kelly?
Oh, Ramzy! Hey, dude!
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Ramzy, you don't sound well, man, but I'm going to be back
in
3 minutes.
Hear me?
Yeah, everybody can hear you. You sound very ill. Is something wrong?
No, it's a hot fucking day.
Okay, you guys got the show for about 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Run this bitch.
Yeah, woohoo! Hey, Ramzy, now that we got the show, let's take it over and not give it back to Kevin when he gets back, all right? Sound good? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Pretty good, Kevin.
Okay.
I can hear you.
So how hot is it out there?
I called 1910 no lying, the main line, and I don't know, it wasn't working, I guess.
It happens. I'm sort of impressed that I'm actually able to talk to people through my laptop without having to use my mixer. For those of you that are listening into this and those in the chat room, I have a little tiny Asus notebook that is running Ubuntu Linux, and 98% of the time I have it hooked up to my big mixer. I'm a professional at this, and tonight I'm set up through my Samson Meteor mic, which is a USB microphone, and I'm kind of going, oh my God, it's actually working tonight, because usually it doesn't. Maybe it's because I needed to have the other sound card, but So it was a nice day here. I got a nice shot of the full moon while waiting for the bus.
Yeah, I saw the full moon over here. I'm looking at it
beautiful.
right now, Kelly.
Oh, nice. And you're in beautiful LA, and I'm in mediocre New York. I'm sorry. I am, for all you New Yorkers out there, don't hate me because I'm jaded.
I'm actually in San Diego.
Woohoo!
Yeah, my sister is in LA, so sometimes I hop and I skip, and it was 106 today, and my chicken diet. Yeah, I think that's what Kevin was saying, that I was feeling down.
Yeah, you said it was
chicken.
You want cooked?
Yeah, go ahead.
Your chicken died of heat stroke?
And it's not a hen, because I have hens, and they're like these little. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, what'd you say? Soak?
No, I'm nothing. I'm just being silent and.
I think it's like heat stroke, because I think that's what it was. I think it was some kind of a heat exhaustion or heat stroke. Because I have these little babies, hens. Hens are like these little babies, and then I got the fucking chicken, the big ass 10, 15 pound, probably like a 14, 15 pound chicken. And I just, it wasn't a smart idea it wasn't a smart purchase when, it's in the hundreds. And I wasn't thinking ahead, and I went ahead and it was, I think, $200, and it died, man. It was looking wobbly, and it actually stayed a few hours inside the water bowl. I should have seen that as a sign that, it wasn't feeling too hot. And so it was acting all wobbly, and my parents and I just knew that it wasn't looking too optimistic, and I figured, because I haven't seen them lay eggs, that maybe it was just a part of the process,
Yeah.
And no, it's buried now.
Poor man.
Yeah, for those of you listening, I'm glad that Kelly and I are doing Kevin's show, because I really admire intellect, and my best friend, my roommate in college, my college roommate turned out to be a history teacher, and there's just something that's very sedating about people that have stories to tell. So I'm glad to be back. And I'm planning to do Andy Apocalypse Bowen show in Australia. So he's great, and I've been on Blog Talk a lot lately. I did the Jamie. He pronounces it Jaime, the Jaime Loco show, and Robin Slim
no cussing,
show.
Please. I just heard you say Heine.
No, Jaime.
Oh,
Jaime. Or as us Sephardic Jews would say, Jamie.
Oh.
Or as we Sephardic